Citi 97.3. Accra.
This is Citi 97.3.
Citi News.
It's midday. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News. We're coming to you live from our studios at number 11. Dr. Martin Lupin at Accra. My name is Ajuatin Krama Domina. Coming up, Kaswa chief involved in the killing of a military officer on April 30, charged with murder. Also coming up, 3 persons missing after a boat carrying 11 people capsized on the Oti River.
We are still on the list looking for them. After now, we didn't find anybody as yet.
Still in the bulletin, Ghana drops 4 places on the Global Peace Index, the 4th consecutive decline since 2021. Now, how significant is this as the country prepares for the crucial December elections? We'll tell you more. And later, Thursday morning's rains leave several residents of Domepraku Estate Junction stranded. They appeal to the government to reconstruct a poorly constructed drainage in the area.
If they doesn't destroy that baby and dig the whole place again, it will rain 100,000 years. We will face the same problem. The problem can also, they have to destroy those buildings.
Stay with us for details of these and more stories coming your way in the next 30 minutes. Remember, the bulletin is live around the globe on citinewsroom.com, on YouTube and on Facebook. You can find us on Citi 97.3 FM. Across the country, we are live on a number of affiliates in the Western region. This is Beach 105.5 FM in Takoradi. In the Bunu region, Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. In the Ashanti region, this is Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi. Orange 107.9 FM also in Kumasi. In the Volta region, you can tune into Revival 99.3 FM in Tajevu. In the Northern region, Radio Bembela 91.9 FM. In the Upper East region, Tanga 93.7 FM in Boga. And in the Upper West region, Tunsong 97.3 FM in Wa and Jirapa 96.1. Please stay for details.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Grateful for your company this afternoon. Let's start from the courts. And the main accused person involved in the killing of a military officer at Kaswa has been charged with murder and conspiracy to commit crime to wit murder. The accused person, known as Ben Lord, who claims to be a chief, was arrested after allegedly shooting a military officer, killing him instantly at the Millennium City Police Station. He was initially arraigned on May 3 and has since been on remand. The police completed its investigation and forwarded a docket to the Attorney General for advice. Now, weeks after this, the Attorney General preferred his advice on the matter and instructed the police to charge Ben Lord with murder and conspiracy. Meanwhile, the second accused person in the case, Nana Amokwache, who was arrested later in connection with the incident, has also been charged with conspiracy to commit a crime, to wit murder. The case has since been adjourned to June 20. We'll give you updates in subsequent bulletins, but away from that, 3 persons have drowned in the Oti River in Dambai after a boat they were traveling on capsized on Tuesday evening. The boat carrying 10 people from Dambai was heading towards Injari, a farming and fishing community in the Karachi East municipality of the Oti region, when a windy conditions on the lake caused the boat to overturn. This incident comes a few weeks after travelers resorted to using canoes to cross the Oti River following the breakdown of the only ferry in the river. Travelers had appealed for the provision of another ferry for the construction of a bridge over the river, but the Assembly member for Dambai Lakeside Electoral Area, Emmanuel Atali, says efforts are currently underway to retrieve the bodies of the deceased.
We are still on the list looking for them. So we are now looking for the dead body at the list. After now, we didn't find anybody as yet. They were moving the maestro in Jare. So Friday, that's Tuesday, around 5 to 5:30 that way. That's the time that the incident has happened. We are not having a much life jacket here. So probably they were moving around without wearing jackets. So as I'm speaking now, within our district, we are not having any jackets in our district. We are pleading to the government to assist us with the life jackets during my electoral area, especially the Citi East Municipal Assembly. So we have a lot of markets here. Some people are traveling for a very long period, around 2, 4, 6 hours before the market. So I'm pleading to the government to help us with the life jackets, like about 2,000 or 3,000 life jackets.
That's the Assembly member for Dambai Lakeside Electoral Area, Emmanuel Atali. Now let's come back to the Greater Accra region, where angry residents around the Dome Parako Estate Junction this morning blocked the major stretch to protest a poor drainage system constructed some months ago. According to the residents, the construction was poorly done, leaving them vulnerable anytime it rains. They're calling on authorities to intervene and reconstruct the drainage to prevent any further destruction. Some residents have been speaking to City News.
It's around 3:32 for when the rain started. The flood have entered everybody's house and destroyed my things. It's what I'm saying. Again, my machine and everything. You can see the oil that I'm selling and doing. I'm lucky that the cars didn't come here. I'm a mechanic in profession, attached with all those things. And no any car was around here. That is why you can see. Otherwise, the flood will spoil everything for me.
Does this happen every year?
Yeah, it's happening every year. I may say it's more than almost 10 years now. This is how it has been happening to this thing. So we know about this. The contractor buried the bridge on the floor, which is not supposed to do. At least he has to consult the village people and the other people. You can see your front over here. There is a hill, and there is a hill over here. How will you bury the bridge on the hill? And the bridge is very, very rich. It's a solid thing, but it was buried on the ground. So please, we are begging them to come and raise the bridge.
They showed the place to a certain man. They say it's an old soldier. Now the person has filled the place. So if you rain, the rain doesn't go. So it falls through. That's why the people are suffering. Some years ago, if you rain, it doesn't enter to their house. But since they sold the place to the man and they filled the place, the whole place is flooded. If you rain, the rain doesn't have way to penetrate. That's why we are facing this problem. So if they doesn't destroy that building and dig the whole place again, it will rain 100,000 years. We'll face the same problem. The problem can also, they have to destroy those buildings and clear the land to be clear before we can free here.
You heard some residents at Dome Paraku Estate Junction speaking to City News. Well, the Municipal Director for the National Disaster Management Organization for GAI, Seth Kofi Osekisi, says the Municipal Assembly forewarned residents to relocate from the area before the rains commenced.
Around 7:30, it took an intervention of one experienced man who was riding his motor through. He had to engage the people badly before they could remove those structures from the place. But prior to that, we have come as municipal, that's Ghana East and Okaiko North. We had already come on the riverbanks already to educate the people living there that this year we've been told that the rains would descend heavily, so they have to move from there. Because when you go there, when you get flooding, it enters above window level. But they are still living there. The assemblies have marked it. We not more have made recommendations to the assemblies. So it is the responsibility of the assembly to take the proper initiative by giving justice to whatever is there. Now we have excavator, but excavators are working to a particular limit. When it gets full, there's no way for the excavator to dredge and put it. People are putting their structures there. So what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to move down those structures from there. And it is the responsibility of the assembly, because NADMO has made already the recommendation to the assembly. Or else, we will say it today, we will say it tomorrow, and we will say it tomorrow to come.
You heard Seth Kofi Osekisi. He's a NADMO director for GA East. Well, my colleague Christopher Kevin Asima is live in the area, and he joins us with some updates. Chris, good afternoon. Thank you for your time here on the news. What is the situation now? Has the flooding receded?
Well, good afternoon, Ajwa. Yes, right here at the site, the flooding has receded. The place is a bit calm now, and the water keeps receding. But we were expecting to have officials, maybe from NADMO or the two municipal assemblies, that's Okaiko North and the GA East, to really come and then tell us what the situation is. Right now, we have present NADMO officers from GA East and the municipal chief executive. All they are doing is trying to clear the sticks and then the wood that was used for the road blockage this morning. Nothing is being done. We are not being told whatever action the assembly has. All they are doing is trying to sweep around and clean the mess that was created by residents. But the water is receding all right. The victims who are complaining about their situation are just left there, and nobody's speaking to them, nobody's attending to them. NADMO officials have only put the blame on the doorstep of the assembly, and that's it. Nothing's happening here.
So when we spoke to the NADMO director, he says that residents were already given notice to relocate from the area before the rains commenced. For your interaction with the residents, do they confirm this claim, and why did they not move if they were warned?
So I spoke to some residents, and they said that they have permits to build and stay here, and they are not moving because they had official permits and they've constructed and they are living here. There's even a church along the banks of the river, and then the members of the church who say they've not been given any notice to leave, and they were just shocked to even hear that's coming from the NADMO officials because they have not been given any notification. But they still insist that, well, they have permits to build here, they're going to stay here. One of them actually even told me that, well, if the assembly is willing to relocate them, they should come and sit and negotiate with them on compensation.
How about the traffic situation? You earlier mentioned that you were still trying to remove the wood and other items that were placed on the road. Has it improved yet?
So for now, traffic is back to normal and the cars are flowing all right. It don't easily flow, but now it's a bit easier for cars to move. The traffic situation since morning was very chaotic, but now it's down and cars are moving. It's a bit slow, but they are able to move because on the road is where the residents have blocked with stakes, wood, and all kinds of materials to prevent people from crossing. So NADMO officials and the Zoo Lion officials are cleaning and clearing this so that it will ease traffic. You can easily pass if you want to use this stretch of the road, but it's a bit slow.
Thank you so much, my colleague Christopher Kevin Asima reporting to us live from Domit Paraku Estate Junction, where this morning there were some angry residents who blocked the stretch to protest at the poor drainage system that was constructed some months ago, causing their homes to be flooded. Let's move away from that story now. A fire explosion at the AGL gas filling station at Esufufu in the Sunyani East municipality of the Bono region destroyed a story building, a saloon car, and a tanker discharging liquefied petroleum gas yesterday. It took the Sunyani Municipal Fire Command hours to bring the fire under control. Now, 9 persons in a neighboring house escaped unhurt. A victim of the fire incident has been speaking to City News.
Just like a violent wind or something. So apparently I thought it was raining. So when I checked through my window, I didn't see any sign of rainfall or something. So I wanted to get back to the house owner to inquire what is really happening. By the time we got there, apparently the fire has just engulfed all the roofing. So we had to just run away for our lives. So we couldn't take anything. Like I had my phone with me when I was going out, so I couldn't even come back. So that was what really happened. We tried calling the fire service. We called them. They came around almost about an hour and some minutes. But when they came, the concentration was with the filling station, so they couldn't even come here. So when they had finished with the filling station, they came to our house around almost 12. That was almost about 3 hours after the incident.
We lost everything.
Almost. We couldn't even pick anything. The only thing I picked was my phone.
You heard Yabuachi. He's a victim in the fire explosion at the AGL gas filling station in the Sunyani East municipality. Or the Bono Regional Commander of the Ghana National Fire Service, ACFO Olivia Ayem, has been speaking on the incident.
With the initial assessment, we found out that there's this truck that brings in gas. And when you are discharging, you are not supposed to dispense. And so that is what we have found out. That they were discharging and at the same time dispersing. And so that was, but then there might be something that triggered the fire outbreak. That we don't know yet. And so that is what we are yet to unravel.
What is the ideal thing to do if they want to discharge?
They are supposed to consult the fire service, and they will bring people to come and supervise. And when there's things like that, we'll make sure that we cut it at the initial stage. But that we were not consulted, so we don't know why. And we can't be everywhere, and that's the reason why. they are supposed to contact us.
He had the Bono Regional Commander of the Ghana National Fire Service, ACFO, Olivia Ayem. Now, the over 30 students of Ejumako Afransi Technical and Vocational School who suffered food poisoning after they ate wache on campus have been discharged from the hospital. On Tuesday, the students complained of stomach upset after consuming cooked rice and beans, popularly known as wache, for lunch. Daniel Ajiakpo, the physician assistant at the Salvation Army Polyclinic, where some of the students were taking administered first aid, bringing the situation under control. However, school authorities have refused to comment on the matter. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News. When we return, Health Ministry has been assuring of clearing medical supplies donated by the Global Fund in 2 weeks. We'll tell you more shortly. Please stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Without access to basic services such as water, sanitation, and hygiene, people are vulnerable to water shortages, diseases, and malnutrition. Water, sanitation, and hygiene services can improve people's resilience to climate change. This election, ask your favorite politicians about their plans for tackling climate change and improving access to water, sanitation, and hygiene. Let this define who you vote for. At WaterAid, we believe in a future where our leaders prioritize climate change, water, sanitation, and hygiene. Your vote can make this possible.
Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on Channel 363. On GoTV, we're on Channel 117. And on HD+, get us on Channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD+ boxes. Channel 1 TV. Telling your story, empowering change.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Now, the Ghana Statistical Service has called for a shift in announcing year-on-year inflation targets to a month-on-month inflation targets. This, according to the service, is intended to give policymakers a true picture of the state of the economy for a required policy direction. Recent data from the service indicated a 23.1% drop in the year-on-year inflation in May. Speaking on the City Breakfast Show, the government statistician, Professor Samuel Kobnayanim, indicated the need to focus on the month-on-month inflation, which recorded a 3.2% rise in May from 1.8% recorded in April.
The year-on-year inflation is for reporting purposes relative to what happened last year. It doesn't really help with decision-making. It tells you where you have gotten to at any point in time. But if you really want to tweak policies and understand what is happening currently, it's the month-on-month inflation that you need to keep an eye on and at any point in time ensure that it's steadily going down. Unfortunately, our month-on-month inflation historically has been very volatile, which simply means that in current terms, whatever policies that we are putting in, we are not able to sustain it so that for, let's say, a 6-month consecutive period, a 12-month consecutive period, we can say that steadily we are bringing down our month-on-month inflation. So the question is not which one is important, but it depends on what you want to use the statistics for. If you just want to go out there and say that I'm doing well, you go ahead and use your year-on-year. But if you really want to tweak policy and understand what is happening in terms of the outcomes of policies, then it's your month-on-month inflation that you need to look at.
Meanwhile, Professor Enim added that transportation was a key driver to non-food inflation, which recorded a 3.6% month-on-month higher than what was recorded for food inflation.
So clearly the driver for the non-food inflation month-on-month 3.6 was as a result of transport. The other component that had a month-on-month inflation higher than the overall month-on-month inflation of 3.2 was education services, which is also non-food inflation with 5.5 month-on-month inflation. Consistently in the last 6 months, we have seen a steady decline in the share of food inflation to overall inflation. We've hovered around 52.6% towards the end of 2023, and now we are doing 41.5% as a share
of food to overall food inflation.
You have a government statistician, Professor Samuel Kobuna Enim. Now, Ghana has for the third year in a row dropped places on the Global Peace Index, presenting a worrying trend for the country. This year, Ghana ranked 55 out of 163 countries sampled by the Institute for Economics and Peace. This ranks means Ghana dropped 4 places from the 51st position recorded in 2023. In 2022, the country ranked 40th, and in 2021, we were 38th most peaceful country in the world. Now, the IEP's Global Peace Index analyzes peace in the country with 23 indicators grouped under 3 key domains. That's conflict, safety, and security, as well as militarization. We are joined by the Executive Secretary of the National Peace Council, the body mandated to maintain peace in the country, for their reaction to this year's ranking. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for your time here on the news. I believe you have seen the report. Which areas do you think that we are failing in as a country, for which reason we are consistently dropping? This is the 4th year in a row.
Thank you very much. I'm far away in Jimbali in Northeast, so I hope you are getting me right.
You're loud and clear, sir.
Excellent. It is a worrying trend, but there is also some good part of what has happened. We have dropped in terms of the score or the marks, like you rightly said. But in terms of ranking at the West Africa level and at the sub-Saharan African level, Ghana has restored her position. Has restored her position to first in West Africa and the 4th in sub-Saharan Africa. So that, in terms of the ranks, is better than what happened last year when Sierra Leone, So it is not too good. It gives us concern. The Global Peace Index is evaluated on 3 main domains. One is militarization. The other is ongoing conflicts. And the third is safety and security. What Ghana has suffered most is the last one, the safety and security, which we didn't do. So, I think all of us in this.
Ms. Amo, if you could kindly reposition yourself, we keep losing you on the line.
Oh, sorry, I told you. We're done. So, is it better?
Yes, you're much better now.
Okay. We want to encourage all of us who have something to do to improve the situation to work harder, particularly as we approach the election, so that we keep the credibility, this image that we have gained for ourselves over the years.
So for you, which areas deserve improvement as we approach the election? Samo? Okay, we appear to have lost George Amo, who is Executive Secretary of the National Peace Council, on the line, but he was just reacting to the fact that Ghana has dropped 4 places in this year's Global Peace Index, ranking 55th out of 163 countries in the world. Let's bring you some other stories now. The Ministry of Health has given assurances that the medical supplies currently stuck at the ports will be cleared within 2 weeks. This commitment follows an announcement by health-focused civil society organizations planning to protest for the release of the essential Global Fund medications for malaria, tuberculosis, and HIV, which have been held at the port since May 2023. The government has attributed the delay to the payment procedures for the new exemption bills and in the introduction of new charges. However, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, the sector minister, says his ministry has all the clearance to proceed.
The commodities, the ministry has issued a statement. And the statement, I'm sure, is available for you to see. We are committed to getting the containers out. And for me, personally, irrespective of the bureaucracies involved with government and all that, I have given myself 2 weeks. 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I myself will not be encouraged if there is 2 more or 1 more container left at the port. In fact, and this one you can take it from me. If by 2 weeks we still have containers at the port, you will not see me here. I'll be sitting rather at the port. I'll sit at the port with them until everything comes out. We could have, I've said it somewhere, we could have handled it in a better way. But we don't want to go into the past. We want to make sure that going into the future, these things don't recur. I don't want to blame anybody.
You heard Dr. Bernard Okoboy, he's the Minister of Health. Now, the National Democratic Congress branch in the Ashanti region has called out the Education Minister and officials of the Ghana Education Service for allegedly involving students in the just-ended tour of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in the Ashanti region. The party wants parents to speak against the involvement of the awards in the political activities at the expense of their education. Some senior high school students from the region were bused to the Kumasi Jubilee Park to attend a Youth Connect event when Dr. Bawumia visited the Ashanti region. Deputy Ashanti Regional Secretary of the NDC, Ba Achamfo, speaking at a news conference in Kumasi, said the NPP used the students to cover its sinking popularity in the Ashanti region.
One major feature of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia tour was the busing of students from various senior high schools to the Youth Connect program at the Jubilee Park to create a crowd effect to show up Bawumia's sinking popularity in his own political stronghold. We find this development very worrying because it shows the desperate length the NPP is prepared to go just to create an illusion of popularity. The law of the land do not allow partisan politics in our senior high schools. And so, for the headmasters of these institutions to have released SHS students, some of whom are minors, to participate in this political activity at the time they are supposed to be in school is a cause to worry. What is even shocking is that all this happened right under the nose of the Minister of Education, Mr. Yao Educhu.
You heard the Deputy Ashanti Regional Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, Ba Achamfo. Away from that, workers of the National Identification Authority, the NIA in the Ashanti region, have returned to work following an order by the National Labour Commission. Citi News' visit to some NIA centres showed excited applicants following the return of the staff. Some of the applicants called on authorities to address the concerns of the staff to prevent them from going back on strike.
Yeah, at the moment, I'm happy, and then I think it will help me because I've tried a couple of times. Anytime you have to book appointment, I haven't got much time left. But today, I came today, everything has been successful and it has been smooth.
During the period that they were on strike, was there a time that you needed a Ghana card badly that you couldn't?
I needed it badly because nowadays, everywhere you go, there's a Ghana card. And then if you, even I wanted to register for a SIM, but because I don't have Ghana card, I couldn't register.
I'm back to work. It is good because in everything that we do, we used to use the Ghana card. So it is very exciting for they coming back to work. And we plead with the government to grant them all what they wanted to embark on their work so that everything will run smoothly.
Those were some Ghana card applicants in the Ashanti region speaking to Citi News. Now, moving on, the leadership of the Concerned Drivers Association have endorsed some key policies of the National Democratic Congress flag bearer John Dramani Mahama. The group says policies such as hire purchase vehicles, pension schemes and ultra-modern bus terminals across the country resonate with its members, hence their support for the NDC candidate. The group, however, is cautioning the NDC flag bearer against turning his back on the policies he has made, adding that its members are ready to throw their weight behind the NDC for victory in 2024. Aminu Yusuf is the National Secretary of the Concerned Drivers Association of Ghana. He's been speaking to Citi News.
The NDC flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama, has mentioned some policies offering a gleaming hope to us, which includes the following. I think we have 4 points and we will mention them one after the other. One is hire purchase. 2, pension scheme, 3 ultra-modern bus terminals, 4 drivers' day. We will take the higher purchase. 1, we trust this intervention to make vehicle ownership much easier for players in the transportation sector. We commend the NDC flag bearer for exhibiting much concern about us. We wish to caution him also turning his back on us after winning the election. We urge all stakeholders to join us in supporting John Mahama's vision for a better Ghana.